Hello, hello! Welcome back, welcome back. I say that optimistically because this is a brand new channel, and so I don't think you actually are back and are probably just finding this for the first time. And in that case, welcome, and hopefully you enjoy the video. So today I am drawing this picture I had in my mind when I first woke up of this girl holding forget-me-nots behind her back in kind of a nighttime setting. I got up quickly and I sketched it out really quick, and then you can see I just added in bluish background to the back so I can have something to work on other than that gray before I'm like just going around my sketch and creating just a masking out area. And then I just make this also blue, but like a lighter blue, so it's like, you know, she stands out from the background. This allows me to go on top with some foreground grass, and I actually redo this grass a couple times. It took me a minute to figure out how exactly I wanted to get that grass in, both in the background and in the foreground, but eventually I figure it out. So I start going in with this bright green for highlights, just kind of imagining a top-down light and how it might hit the grass. It takes me a while though to finally nail down exactly how I want each of these grass strands to look like, because I keep going back and forth before I finally come up with something that I'm happy with. After that, I have a more general idea of what I want the whole piece to look like, and I start blocking out the colors for the girl. You can see that I'm kind of taking a more unusual approach. I see most people just kind of fill in the base colors with the actual color and have that as a flat, but I'm just kind of putting it on with a low opacity to kind of gradually build up that color so I can get still that blue peeking through. And I think that way I'm able to get a little bit more color harmony and be able to pull off a more convincing nighttime scenes. Because nighttime can be really hard, especially when you don't have that much light, and so you can really get your characters kind of lost in it. At some point during the sketch, I realized that it would be really cute if she not only had flowers, but also a little note, as if she was giving it to somebody. And so I add that in. Also, I feel like it just helps bring the eye with more detail closer to her hand area down there. And so I start going back and just erasing parts of the sketch. I don't think most people would do this. I'm actually only working with 4 layers, and so I can't have just a layer devoted to the sketch. Sometimes I do, but more often than not, I just merge it down to all my other color layers. And so before I can do that, I just want to make sure that it's a little bit more cleaned up. Here you can see I'm going back and just touching up that letter. And just now I'm doing a paint layer that's on top of everything else. I haven't quite merged everything yet. Just going back and hitting spots that I think look a little funky and look a little odd, and defining edges a little bit better over the top. So around this point, I look back at my reference image and realize that forget-me-nots are more blue, and so if I ever dress blue at the same time, then they're just going to really blend in. So I decide to swap their colors and make the dress more of a magenta, and then I can go back and change these forget-me-nots to blue. And you can still see like the purple outline like in front of them around their edges, and that's because that's on that separate layer, and so I just changed that separately. So what you're seeing me do is I'm taking my original layer and I'm duplicating it, and then I'm going into the curves and lowering the brightness of it all, and then kind of erasing that new shadow that we just created to get these really hard shadows all over her, and I think it looks really nice when I do it this way. I figured actually that I should probably just show you what I mean. So I'm going to open the grass and duplicate it, and then we're going to go into the curves and then just bring it down, maybe something like that, just so it kind of feels like it matches with her. And then I can go in there and start just erasing parts that I would like. I forgot that I have all my layers that I can possibly have, so I think I might have to combine these two. But before I do that, I think I want to work a little bit more on her. That's fascinating past me. Anyway, So I'm just going back and adding some of the pink rim light. Is that what you call it? Kind of that bright saturated area between the light and the shadow. And I'm just going in with like this saturated pink, just defining it with a little bit of a plain fuzzy brush. And I don't go too over the top with this, just enough to give it a little bit more life. By this time I realized that I didn't have enough grass that I liked, and so I just copied the grass layer I already had and then did the same thing where I actually reduced the contrast, made it more blue, and then I was able to just put it behind my original grass and make it look much fuller. At this point I was really thinking about how I wanted to add bugs, but bugs aren't typically out at nighttime, and this is a nighttime scene. But then I remembered fireflies and thought they would be perfect, and so I just go in with this glow brush and just make little fuzzy fuzzes all over the place, and then just add a white dot in the middle, all that. And I think it really does add something to make this piece feel more alive. Right here, I'm just going in and defining just 3 little lines to give a little bit more information about how the light and the dark parts are interacting. I didn't think it needed anything more than that, and so I just kind of leave it. But at this point, I'm just going around and finding any small details that bug me and just adding over the top. I'm not trying to really add anything that's not there, just to find what I already have and fix a few little rough places. So at this point, I bet you're probably wondering what is in the letter, and I would be happy to tell you. So do you know those exercises in school where the teacher gives you a piece of paper and you kind of write a letter to your future self? This is kind of my version of that, except it is not going to be given to me in however many years. Instead, it's going to be in the description whenever I remember that this video exists and decide to come back and look at it. Anyway, I've never had that kind of assignment, and I thought it'd be cool. But I kind of imagine this piece as a younger me or a current me standing there waiting to greet my future self and kind of seeing what I will become. Probably not as exciting as you were thinking. You're probably all thinking, oh, she's going to go there to meet a boy or something, but nope, it's not. It's just me. Anyway, I think it turned out cute. I'm just adding up the final touches now. And let me know what you think of this video and if there's anything that I can improve on it. This is the last little detail I add, just almost little sparkles coming off the flowers to kind of draw attention to them even more. Here is the finished piece. I hope you liked it. Usually I'd like to print it out, but I don't have access to the printer, and so that's very sad. But hopefully this digital rendition can be good enough. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you come back and hope you watch my other videos. That's a lot of hope and dreams right there. Anyway, I hope you are having a wonderful day, and bye!